What's up, y'all? What's going on? What is going on? Let me go ahead, share this to a few people. We are back for another edition of The Buzz Behind the Music. We're going to be speaking with Ashley Blaire this evening. Let me go ahead and just invite a few people. Started the live a bit early because I wanted to get through with some announcements before we jump right into it. So we can go ahead and do that. What's happening? What's happening, y'all? Happy Friday. Cold Shed family, what's going on, y'all? Y'all go ahead and check out Cold Shed. The new single, Why Not, is out, available everywhere right now. Y'all go ahead, check them out. You have a dope video as well that is on YouTube. I want you guys to head on over, show them some love. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Destined, what's going on? How are you guys doing today? I'm excited about today's discussions. First time we're going to be speaking with Ashley. We've been talking behind the scene. Ashley has an amazing story to tell. Ashley released her debut EP and single, and we can't wait to get into it. Now, a few quick announcements. I know for anyone that is within the New York, New Jersey area, I'm going to turn this down a bit before IG flags us. Yeah, anyone that is within the New York, New Jersey area, we got the Kingdom Tour with Maverick City, Kirk Franklin, Housefire, Jonathan McReynolds. They're all coming. It's going to be here the 12th in Prudential Center. So I'm super excited. I've been sitting on these tickets for a while, so I can't wait to get in the building and just feel that energy. I've been seeing all the different stops that everyone has been doing, and it just looks like the tour is just off the hook. Let me know if any of you guys have went and checked out one of the Kingdom Tour stops. If you have, let me know what city you're planning on checking it out at. And then of course we're about I would say a month and a few days away from the Stellar Awards. That's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. So that's the first there as well. For the Stellar Awards, lots of great events that's going to be happening in and around the Stellar weekend. So definitely, if you're going to be there at the Stellar Awards, here's a few events you want to check out. If you're going to be coming in, hey, Ashley, Renee, what's going on? If you're going to be coming in on the Thursday the 14th, you definitely have to go check out the celebrity basketball game. There's a link in our bio. You can go ahead and purchase your tickets. That's the Bear Tag Entertainment and Stellar sanctioned celebrity basketball game with Bishop Marvin Sapp as one team coach. And on the other side, we have Jamal O'Brien, Pastor Jamal O'Brien. So, the teams have already picked. Draft already happened. If you guys can catch that, that was super funny. A lot of trash talking, but you want to make sure you get your tickets because the tickets are going. So definitely make sure you get that. And also around the same time frame, we also have on the 15th, we have Urban Soul Cafe. It's Urban Soul Honors and Indie Spotlight. So that's going to be a really great event. Carlos always put on, super dope events around Stellar Awards weekend. So that's going to be on the Friday. And then also on the Sunday after the Stellar Awards, just to kind of wind down, it's going to have the Grown Folks Gospel Brunch, again, Urban Soul Cafe event. And that also is going to be pretty good. There's going to be some performances, good food. So, a lot of interesting things are going to be happening that weekend. There's tons of other showcases and such that's going to be going on. So definitely you guys want to check those out. And that is about it right now. We're going to go ahead and bring in our guest in a minute. But yeah, like I said, I'm super excited to be chatting with Ashley. I'm just going to go ahead and cue this up while we go ahead and invite Ashley in. As you guys are coming in also, just share the live with someone as you're coming in. Okay, let's see. Ashley, if you're here, you can send me a request as well. I think I see you right now. What's happening? What's happening? We gotta turn this up. We gotta turn this up. Let's go. Woo! You can't tell me that. You can't tell me he didn't show
Come
up.
on now.
Come on, God. Come
Come
on,
on,
show up.
God.
Come on, show up. We gotta show him up, God. I'm ready to go to church right now. Come
Come on
on,
now.
show on up for us right now.
Come on now. I'm about to
Uh,
shout real quick.
yeah, come on, come on.
I'm about
Take
to
a shout,
shout.
take a shout.
I'm about ready to.
I'm loving your energy, man. See, we were just talking about this whole camera adjusted thing. Now I feel like
I'm
I'm back.
not. Look at me.
I feel like I'm backing up now. So what's going on, Ashley? Welcome to the show. This segment is behind the music, where we just talk to artists about their process, what went into their recent, whether it's an EP, in your case, a single. Just kind of get to know you as the artist as well as your process that kind of went into the project. Because a lot of times, people are seeing the release project that is out there, but it's equally important just to understand everyone's journey until
Right.
that project has been released. So, we're super excited to be speaking with you today. So, how was your day so far?
Oh, it's been, I've been rolling since 6 a.m. today, and I still have a ton of energy.
Oh,
And we're gonna
I
finish the
like it.
day
I
out
like it.
awesome. This is one of the best ways to finish it out. I'm so excited just to be here. Thank you for even having me on here. I know you have a lot of talented artists, great guests. So I'm just happy to be one of them
Listen.
on this wonderful
I'm
show.
always excited. I'm always excited to talk to new people, man. I'm a people's person, so I'm all about
Right.
listening to stories. Anywhere I go, whether I'm in an Uber, I'm in something, I always find myself just having these discussions. And then my wife will give me the look like you talk to everyone. I'm like, I can't help
Right.
myself. It's just what I do.
That's me. That's me. That's
Exactly.
exactly me.
Exactly. So now I'm gonna ask. So what's your birthday month?
My birthday is in May, so I just recently had a birthday, May
Oh, okay,
4th.
okay. Oh, nice. Oh, May 4th. Oh, May the 4th be with you. I like
There
it.
we
Star
go.
Wars. Come on, Star Wars. I like it. Love it, love it. So before we even jump into the interview per se, I know it's been a pretty busy, I would say, last 6 months or so, kind of,
Mhm.
going through and looking, checking out your bio and profile and all that. It looks like you closed on a house maybe about what, 6 months ago. So
Yes.
what was that process like? Because we just closed on ours like about a year ago, and just
Uh,
going through the process, it felt like it took forever to get there. So what was that like for you?
it
And
did.
congratulations.
It did. I thank you. I'm going to tell you how good God is. So,
Come on.
going through the process of me getting my home, I'm going to tell you right now, it was tough. I
Mm-hmm.
learned a lot of new things about what to do, what not to do.
Oh yeah.
But also it was a blessing. I got approved for a certain amount. Like we found out, hey,
Mm-hmm.
this is the amount,
Mm-hmm.
and I found a home that I really loved, and I'm like, man, we hurry up, put an offer in on it, and it was
Mm-hmm.
literally $300 under the
Mm-hmm.
actual my actual amount that I got approved for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, God, like this has to be from I barely got approved for that amount. So I'm like, God, I know it's you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
literally as soon as we were walking, I started just to give up a little bit, as we do as Christians sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're not patient enough with our
Come
faith,
on, be real,
or
come
have
on.
enough
Mm-hmm.
faith. And I was just walking into another place, and I felt like, well, you know what, this one is okay. I feel like I might just settle and get this one.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I was not. I was literally 3 steps away from walking into that place, and then we got a call that said, "Hey, we accepted your offer."
Oh
Before I even got
wow.
in the play, I said,
Wow.
"Lord, I hear you loud and clear. I hear you loud and clear." Sometimes we're not patient enough,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Mm-hmm.
just part of our human nature, who we are. But
Mm-hmm.
it was a process. But I thank God for it. Without him, I wouldn't have it. My family support. My boyfriend's actually a realtor, so he sold me my first
Oh,
home. So I'm like,
oh, love it,
okay,
love
we
it,
had to
love
do it
it.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
That's awesome. And for us too, because we are based out in New York, and when we were going
Uh-huh.
through the process, we started looking around 2020, and man, it took forever because that was
Yeah.
the height of the pandemic. Everyone was coming back, working from home, and realizing like, hey, we have a small space. We all can work from this space. So
Right.
everyone wanted, to start buying, and the prices just went up.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing with us. One day we went in this area and we looked at about maybe 5 different homes. And when we looked at these homes, we were like, the one that we both really wanted, neither of us said anything. And we looked at all the others, right? And we were like, because we were never going to get this one because of
Right.
what was happening. And we looked at the others, and lo and behold, the same one we wanted but never verbalized it, that's the one we ended up getting. So,
That's the one you got.
God, just something about God just knowing the desires of your heart and He just giving that to you.
Yeah.
So that was awesome when I heard you.
He
And I
heard
want to
you.
hand you
He
that.
heard you when you said you wanted it. You
Yeah,
might
yeah,
not have said
exactly. Even though I might not have said it, he heard, he heard it. And
it.
you were talking just now about being up since 6:30 and keep going. So then I wanted to ask, are you a coffee drinker, a tea drinker? Like where are you grabbing that energy from?
Literally, no. I drink no coffee. I drink no tea.
Wow.
Everybody at work is like, "What did you have this morning?" I'm like, "Nothing. I'm high
Really?
energy." Until that way, when I sit down and I get still, I'm out. Okay, I'm 3 seconds. And if I'm not talking, I'm out. But when I'm up,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going. Because time doesn't stop. You got to keep going. You got to
This
keep
is
going.
this is this is true, but coffee is my vice.
Is
I'm all about
it?
coffee. I'm all about coffee. I just drink it at this point now because I like the taste. It has nothing to do
Okay.
with keeping me up or doing anything else. Because I can drink a large cup and I'll go right to sleep if I need to sleep. So
Really? I can't
that
do
doesn't that
that.
doesn't that doesn't help. But I just love it at this point. And again, also too, one question I really love to ask, and this is just more of a selfish question for myself, is are you watching any new shows right now? Because I feel like sometimes when I do have a little downtime and I want to unwind, I'm always looking to see what is everyone watching.
I Let me make sure this is working. Can you see me still?
Yeah, I can see you and I can
Okay,
hear
I
you.
guess it must
Yep.
I think it's messing up. But what I don't really have like specific shows. I think it's just like whatever I'm feeling at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really big right now, like on like Nigeria Netflix. Like I
Okay.
love
Okay.
everything that I don't know what it is right now. Like I just love everything on there. Like I'm following the Netflix page. Like I'm starting to
Mm.
know the stars over there. When I
Okay.
know
Okay.
them, but like I want to know them. Like I want to meet them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But like I'm really just big on that right now. I think that's pretty much. And then I love watching like rewatching old TV shows like Meet the Parkers.
Okay. Okay. Those are
Like
good. Those are good.
Moesha, One on One. Like I just love kind of like early 90s stuff basically. So that's me.
Okay. Nice, nice. Yeah, I recently started Stranger Things only because I'm hearing everyone talking about it. My kids are talking about it. Their godparents are talking about it. And I'm sitting in the room and everyone is going off about it. And I'm just there like, I have no clue what you're talking about. So I finally caved and I went to season 1 and I started with like the first episode and I'm like, all right,
Uh-huh.
fine. I'm gonna get into it eventually. So, but I started off. What's up, Josh? Yeah, I started it off. So that's kind of the
It
journey
is
I'm
pretty good.
I'm going
I
I'm going
started
down.
watching it a long time ago, then I fell off, and then they just kept making episodes. But it
Hmm.
honestly really is good.
Okay, okay, so
Yeah.
that's good. That's good to know because you
Uh-huh.
start these things and it end up being a drag, and then you're like already committed because then if I want to start it, now I have to finish it. So it's just it's just that craziness behind it.
Right.
But that's good. And then even from your looking at it too, right? Because I was asking you about what you like watching, but you also like the acting side of things as well too, right? So you do have a
Absolutely.
love for acting. Is that mostly theater type acting or more screen acting? Like what kind of acting are you going towards right now?
I love acting in general.
Okay.
I've all my life I've sung and I've acted all my life. I did plays in college, like Little Shop of
Mm-hmm.
Horrors. I think my first stage play I was like 13 or 14.
Oh wow. Okay.
Played like 16-year-old. It was a Christian play, but I love it.
Hmm.
I think I don't know. It's kind of hard to choose because I love actually being in that moment and being on a stage. So I
Hmm.
love stage plays, being in front of people, being able to hear responses and laughters or
Yes.
cries and be able to
Yes.
actually be in that moment and hear it. But acting is also a part of who I am in my heart. I can be a little theatrical, You know, that's who I am. You know, some people call it extra. I just call it a little theatrical, but all of it is a part of who I am. So
Hmm.
I love both.
Nice, nice. And if you were to choose like the perfect role for you, what would that role be?
If I could show the perfect role, I think the perfect role for me would be like the honest best friend. I would definitely say, because that's who I am, and I feel like I'm just like a best friend to everybody. You know, people can vent to me, talk to me. So that would be my role. Like I would want to be the cool, honest, funny best friend.
I dig that. I dig that. That was me also muting because my dog was kind of going off. I see someone laughing. Yes, guys, I have a dog. This is real. This is live, but my dog tends to make noise sometimes.
Mine was crying too after she heard Joe's crying. I was like, be
Oh
quiet.
my, oh my goodness. I saw me. We're gonna go ahead, guys, just to kind of reset for anyone else that's now coming in. Tonight we're speaking with Ashley Blaire, and we're talking to Ashley behind the music. We're talking about her newly released EP. We're going to be getting into the EP 7 minutes, that have the title single Healer. Really, really great EP. I was going through and listening to it, trying to decide. I never say which one song because I can never pick one. It's always which two or three. So, I'm kind of going through and I have my thoughts on a few and I want to hear yours in a little bit
Okay.
as we kind of get into it. But you were touching on it a little bit earlier, but what is like your origin story? Like when is it that you felt, hey, I want to get into music. I really like music. Like what was that path started for you?
Now, for me, I think it always started, and my mom always tells the same story. Like I was young, not old enough to really talk. She said I would always just pull out the pots and pans and sit down. And she said I would make like real beats. She's like, this girl is really making beats. Okay, so, all right. And it's always just been something in me. I let my first song in the church when I was 5. I don't remember a time period in my life when I didn't have music.
Wow. You
And
said
when it
five. You said
didn't,
five. I did heard you correct. You said in your
yeah,
first.
5. I was
Okay.
5 years
Okay.
old.
Okay.
I led my
Okay.
first song in church. It's just always been a part of me. I think along the way, sometimes we get so caught up in life. So it's like, you really have a passion for something or you have something that's a gift. But, sometimes you lose sight along the way. Things happen. And I would definitely say like around college, I started just to kind of pick it up. I mean, I work hard, throughout my entire life. But I think college, I really just started to kind of pick it up and really see like, this is really what I want to do. This is who I am. So I think that's the time period where I really started to push it. But it's always been a part of me.
I think that's important what you said, right? That it's always been a part of you. And yes, things do happen, whatever it is with life and all of that. But the fact that it's inside of you and that fuel is there is just something that is always going to gravitate and come back to the top, right? No matter what is it
Yeah.
that you're doing, is always going to keep resurfacing. And
Okay.
in terms of your writing process, because I've heard like the strangest thing. Some people would say, hey, I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm writing and recording. I'm in the shower, I'm here, I'm there. Like, what is kind of your writing process? Like, where do you usually get your inspiration, or when do you get it, rather?
I'll definitely say, just from experiences, I could get inspiration
Okay.
from something that happened this week that might have really upset me at work,
Mm.
or just thinking about everything I want to get done. It's funny because I've been working with a guy out of New York, Jay Richardson, and when
Okay.
I took a trip down to New York, and I literally
Oh.
got like 3 songs done in a matter of like 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
And I always explain it like this. So when I hear a beat, I can hear where the words are, to me, where the
Hmm.
words
Hmm.
are supposed to be. So my writing process doesn't take me long. I can sit and listen to a loop over and over again and probably have the song done in 30 minutes, a good
Oh,
quality
wow.
song. Just because I feel like I can just, hear like literally hear where the word is supposed to be at, what break it's supposed to be at.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I get my music just from my experiences. A lot of that is my inspiration. A lot of the things that I may not say out loud, I put it in song.
Mm. And
Yeah.
have you done poetry at any point in time? Have you done any type of like stand up or anything to that extent?
I have not, but is
Okay.
that something that I would actually want to dive into? Absolutely.
Nice.
Because lyrics is just kind of another form of
Hmm.
poetry. But
Yeah.
I've noticed that when people are up there and they're kind of flowing, it is it's not like a constant flow like music is. It might be a little challenge, but I would love to take on that challenge because Ashley Blaire is
I,
scared. So
Come
I
on,
would love to
I
try
hate
that.
Ashley is scared. I hate that, right? I love it. I love your energy. And then even in terms of like some of your musical inspirations, like who are some of inspirations that you've looked to musically to say, hey, I really love what this person is doing, or if you're writing something, you kind of draw an inspiration from those individuals.
I will definitely say I'm a huge fan of Jasmine Sullivan,
Mm,
Jennifer Hudson. I know this is probably like everybody says this, but I love Beyonce just because of how she carries herself. And that's always kind of like what I'm shocked. Like she's respected.
yeah.
But I would definitely say Jasmine Sullivan, Jennifer Hudson. I love Fantasia. All the singers that I feel like, Lauryn Hill, of course. Sometimes I'll even go back and listen. Like, man, how she do that? Okay, let me
Yeah.
try it. So people that really have had a big impact within music and who I feel I really respected. So those are just a couple.
And when even when you were talking about, I mean, that's a pretty, a pretty great list, and a lot of them have
Right.
done, singing, acting, so there's definitely a lot of similarities there as well too. So I can see
Right.
why you gravitated to some of those. And when you were talking about just now in terms of your writing process earlier, have you co-wrote before in terms of like group settings? Like, have you sat in like one of those writing sessions with a group and someone wrote, they wrote you? Like, is that something that you've done as well too?
I have not. I did discuss this with someone about that. Like that's something I would really want to get into. Would I be open to that? Absolutely. Um, Absolutely. Because all I've ever done was just write for myself. So to write for
Hmm.
somebody else, or just to sit there and kind of vibe out and just kind of pick this person's brain. This person picks my brain. I would love to do that. I've never done
Mm.
it, but that's on the list. It's gonna
Okay.
come soon.
Nice, nice. Yeah, because I've heard earlier we had a discussion with a team over at Writing Wrongs, and that's kind of like they always have these various writing camps and so forth like that. So, it's just always curious when I'm speaking with someone that's a writer, it's just, hey, what's your feel also when it comes to that as well too. So awesome. Now, I'm sure you've probably heard this question a million and one times before, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it to you anyhow. I'm going to talk about American Idol. I'm going to talk about American Idol because, I'm sitting in front of someone that have tried out and I was on the show, Top 60. So I have to take this opportunity to talk about, and the funny story before I even get into that, like at one point, my wife and her friends tried out. I think we were like several years ago.
Uh,
We were they drove from New York to I think it was Boston, and it was man, it was quite a mess that day. It was raining, pouring, and people were like on the lines. They were getting soaked. There was this whole process to get into the arena. Like I mean, it seemed like it was almost forever. So I want you to kind of like back it up and just let me know,
okay.
take me back to that first audition. Like, what was that process like?
So honestly, I was scouted. So I received a,
Mm.
DM on Instagram. I was on Instagram, and somebody said, "Hey, like, I really love your sound. I'm, one of the people that work alongside American Idol, work with American Idol. I would love for you to audition. Give me a
Oh
call with
wow.
this number." So I gave it a call, and I'm like, "Is this a scam?
That's the first thing I would think. I
Y'all
don't
playing
trust
with
any
me?"
message.
Not that I was doubting myself, but you gotta watch out for
Of
stuff.
course, of course.
So I'm like, "This is a scam." She's like, she kind of chuckled. She's like, "No, it's not a scam." But believe it or not, like when they scout, that's one of the common things that they get. Like, is this a scam?
Yeah,
Because
for
nobody's
sure.
reaching out for
No one,
American Idol.
no one's believing that. Yeah.
I'm like, hold on now. And so I went through and I auditioned in front of some producers. Of
Mm.
course, like made it through that part. Then I was in front of the
Mm-hmm.
executive producer, got me past that part, and then I actually had the audition in LA.
Okay.
I got 3 yeses from all of them. The judges were amazing, and I was honestly just a great experience. I
Mm.
didn't have to, wait in lines or anything like that, but just to be chosen, just to be seen,
Wow.
it was a lot.
And doing those audition process and then kind of being on the show itself, like what was that experience like as well? Like what was that kind of taught you along the way, starting out as independent artist, working on releasing your very or just released rather your very first EP, and then kind of being thrusted directly into just getting a peek at the industry side of things as well. Like there was a whole lot happening there. So how did you
Oh
even
yeah.
navigate all of that?
Oh, it was and at the same time, I was doing the process of trying to get my home. So I was doing that.
Yeah.
Yes. So it was definitely a lot. As far as being down there, it was one thing a lot of people probably don't know is it was a lot of filming, right? So
Mm.
I learned so many different terms. Oh, come do this or come do that. I'm like, huh? And I grew relationships with a lot of the producers that were on the show. By the
Mm-hmm.
time I would go to meet another producer, they would already know me. They would say, "Oh, you're the fun one." I'm like, "Okay." So my name getting out a little bit.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was really important to me, not just to build a relationship, just to try to get somewhere, but you never
Mm-hmm.
know whose life you're going to touch or who's going to touch your life. So that was something that was really important to me, just to get to know people. It was so many talented artists, and you're sitting there about to audition and you're listening to all these other good people around you, like, okay, you can sing. You probably gonna make. I'm probably gonna see you too. And nobody talks about that. You know what I mean? When there's so many other great artists that are there, because at the end of the day, it's still a competition, and I'm gonna compete. Okay, we can be
Of
cool, we
course.
can be friends, and
Yeah.
that was one thing that was really big, and that a lot of the producers really enjoyed about me because I didn't lose that. Yes, I was living my dream, but I also
Mm-hmm.
remembered, hey, I'm coming down here to work. This is something that I've
Yeah, yeah.
worked so long for.
No, and that is so true there too, because again, just all we're seeing is snippets and we're seeing different things on our end, but I'm just like, just being actually there and even,
Yeah.
meeting and talking to, Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, just kind of being in the presence of these individuals
Oh,
that
yeah.
has basically done so much to impact just the musical landscape and culture in general, and then to be able to be coached and all of that along the way. So, what are, I guess, with that experience, like what are one of those, maybe top two things that, coming away from that you felt like, hey, this really taught me, so much during this process, and I'm much more better for that.
I would definitely say it was one when I did my initial audition. And so they were
Hmm.
going down the line telling me, yeses and why they were yeses and things like that. And Lionel said, Ashley, the world needs a lot of what you have. And
Wow.
he said, I remind him of Gladys Knight. And I was like, hold on,
Mm.
Lionel. You said that, Miss Gladys? Okay. But what that did for me is one, I know how I am, but sometimes,
Hmm.
if you're living in your dream and you're living, in what you want to do, you forget how much of an impact that you are making on
Yeah.
people's lives. And one thing that it taught me being at American Idol was just staying true to myself. Being around a lot of different artists, going in, singing the kind of songs that I really wanted to be, kind of represented by, or, it just allowed me to stay true to myself. I didn't lose that throughout the process. I didn't
Wow.
change the kind of songs I would want to sing. I didn't,
Mm.
conform to that. And the fact that I didn't do that, they saw that what they said, they saw realness. They saw that I was real. So it just
Wow.
reminded me just to stay true to myself throughout that whole
Mm.
process.
Yeah, that's so important because I think
Yeah.
with any industry that you're going into, right? Because some industry sometimes, and I've spoken to artists in different different sides of it, and it'll be like, hey, I'm not traditional gospel, I'm not gonna do a lot of the runs and riffs, and they may feel as though hey, this may not be the space for me. But then when you see artists, like your Jonathan McReynolds, and you see Travis Green, and you see all these other artists that came into a space and just kind of stayed true to who they are, then, there's a space for that individual being true to who they are. So I think that is something that anyone listening and even watching the replay, that is something, it doesn't matter how big of the stage, just kind of staying true to who you are. And that, that's a standout quality. So I'm glad that you were able to take away that from it as well, too. And then even, and then the last question, pertaining to that now. So is it as, so when you guys, when you're looking at a lot of these different clips and you're seeing, they're going to start with when you're home, and they're doing different shoots when you're home, when you're with the family, when you're all that, like, so how many takes are you really, going through just to get that full package? Like, is it a full day of shooting? Like, what's that process like?
We had to get up literally. I think it was like 6 or 7 a.m. And need to remind you, I'm still like operating off of North Carolina time. So if it's 7 a.m. here, 7:65, my math is horrible. It's 4 a.m. here. So I'm like, or opposite, either way. Y'all know what I mean.
Yeah, I got you.
I wasn't operating on that same time zone. So we were up from like 6, 7 a.m. all the way up to maybe like 10 o'clock at night. 10 o'clock at night. I know, like, we, you have run throughs, things like that. I know I was like one of the last ones. So I'm hanging on, woo, being up from all day. So, it's a lot more than, of course, what you see on TV, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. I mean, you're learning a lot. You have producers talking to you as they're filming. So you got to do what they're saying. I'm going through several interviews. Like, I had an interview with Lionel Richie before I went and performed. Had one with Ryan Seacrest before I performed. Got mentored by another artist that was previously on the show, which all of it didn't get to be, shown because there's so many people. But it was it was definitely a lot. But it was definitely worth it, and I learned so much throughout the process.
And I think, hey Renee, what's happening? And I also want to shout out a few people real quick. I saw Dion Kippen was there, as well as I Am Son. Those are all amazing artists as well. Yanette Odessa, what's going on? How are you? Yeah, and I think that's so key what you just mentioned, right? Because I felt like a lot of artists, thriving, it could be years to get to, have someone kind of mentor them and pour into them and say, hey, this is what you should do. This is kind of how this part of the industry works. But here you are, again, releasing your first debut EP, 7 minutes, and then God has afforded you this amazing opportunity to be able, to do all of this. You like acting, so now you get to see what that side of it looks like as well, too, just with all the cameras and everything else. So, just listening to your story, like when I saw that and I'm going back and I'm kind of just, reading about you, I'm like, man, this is like, talk about just having confirmation and saying, this is something I want to do. And just one confirmation after another, and just kind of thrust you, direct you through that process. So I think, that in it of itself was just great, just to watch your journey just from the outside and see what's been happening there as well. Too. So, and then as an independent artist, again, learning and building, talk about your team. Like, how important is it to build a trusting team, to build a quality team, but more importantly, just kind of, start building a team? And before you even answer, I want to say, shout out to your publicist. I mean, your publicist is A1. Tiffany, I feel by now we're like second cousins, because we've spoken so much in the process. Like, I love her work ethic. She's just like top notch all the way. So I have to give her a shout out.
I love Tiffany. I love Tiffany so much. Just to have her a part of my team means the world. Me and my mom talk about it all the time, because we used to always say, we're missing something. Yeah. Those are our words. We're missing something. And it was Tiffany. And as an independent artist, it's hard out here. It's tough. Because you're being about it, you're being your own person to send out music. You're promoting yourself. You're writing your music. You're finding your own beats. being an independent artist is definitely, you don't get enough credit. The only time you get that credit is when, your name is blown up. That's why it means so much, just for even me to be, sitting on here with you, somebody who recognizes my hard work, who took the time, who took the chance to say, hey, I want to know more about who she is. That means a lot. As far as building a team, that's tough too, because you have to also find people that are just as committed as you in helping you. So I'm so grateful for my mom, for Jay, for my family, for Mia. She's my assistant. She has literally my business email and my personal email. She got all the email. She got my social. She got everything. So it's definitely hard to really find people who, I'm just gonna be honest, who truly support you. So building my team is coming along slowly but surely. And I know that the people that are here with me are definitely here to stay. And I also told them, hey, this is for you. I want to help you get to where you want to be too. So a lot of the reason I do what I do, it's not for me.
See, I love that. And that shows with your heart for what you're saying, right? What you're doing is not just for you, but it's also for, for those that are connected and those that are helping to push you along the way. So again, just to kind of stick a pin in, just building a team, and that goes for anyone. You're an independent artist, you're thinking about releasing your first EP, your first single, while you're in that process, definitely explore starting with building out a good team, building out, starting with a publicist, starting with someone, because again, a publicist, for anyone that just looking, not really sure what a publicist does, that's basically like your cheerleader. A publicist is gonna get out there and they're gonna, they're gonna pitch your stuff, they're gonna talk about you, they're gonna call people up, and they're gonna convince everyone. If they're really good, they're gonna make sure they get it done. And I would say again, Tiffany is one of the good ones, all right?
Oh, I know. She ain't going nowhere. Keep her close.
Super polite. Like, I mean, even when I got the first email and we started to go through it, I was like, you know what? Let me carve out some time to read this and set up this call, because there's something about this person. I don't know what it is, but their approach was just spot on.
Right. Awesome.
And
I'm so grateful.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I said, I'm just so grateful for her.
Yeah, Tiffany is great. And before we jump into the EP, I want to read something that I saw you wrote, right? You said, spending 7 minutes with God each day allowed me to grow closer to Him at a time where I felt I lost my way, and even my lowest point, I always find my way back to Him. So just, when I read that was super profound. That was super powerful. So kind of frame that a bit for me.
Yeah, so basically where I even got the title was 7 minutes. I was going through a lot at the time. And this was before American Idol, was before a lot of this stuff. Yeah. And my boss, my very first boss at the company that I work with now, he called me. And I actually prayed for a boss like him. I said, Lord, please let me have a boss that understands. Because at the time I was being a choir director. I was working. I was doing a whole lot. I said, that understands that I need to be off on Sunday to go to church. I don't care what job I'm at. I need to be off on Sunday. Y'all can give me all the rest of the days of the week. But I need that. And he understood that. He grew up in the church. He does music as well. So he understood me. And he called me. And he said, hey, Ashley. And I said, hey. And he said, what's wrong? And I said, what you mean, what's wrong? He said, Ashley, don't play with me. Wow. And at this time, I didn't, I wasn't acting strange. I wasn't posting anything, unusual. He said, what's wrong? And I said, what you mean? He was like, Ashley, now, we spiritually connected. I need you to tell me what's wrong.
Wow. Yeah.
And I said, well, it's just a lot happening right now. I feel like I'm losing touch with God. I feel like, I'm not able really to go to church on Sunday. He said, Ashley, this is what I'm going to tell you to do. He said, I need you to spend 7 minutes a day just before you go into work, on your way, and just talk to God. Tell him how you're feeling. Just pray. He's like, Ashley. I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. He's like, Ashley, no. Like, I need you to do this. And I was like, okay. Wow. He's telling me to do this for a reason. Yeah. And, and I'm getting chills now just kind of talking about it. But, when God speaks, or if he's speaking through somebody else, typically, And I said, okay, this is serious. So I said, okay, let me do it. So I spent maybe for about 2 weeks He told me, I think he told me to do it for like a week or two. I spent 2 weeks every day praying 7 minutes. I didn't miss it. Every day praying for 7 minutes, just 7 minutes.
Wow.
And during that time period, I found myself happier. I found myself, I started to find myself again. The things that I was talking to God about, he was revealing it to me throughout the day. Like clearly, through other people, clearly just, showing me. And I'm like, man, God, sometimes you forget how good God really is. As Christians, we're so scared to say it, but we forget, and God, like, don't trip, I remember who I am. And during that time period, I did. And literally, I got on Instagram and I saw the message from America. So the American Idol happened during my 7 minutes time period.
Wow.
And I said, okay, God, you really not playing with me. And during that time period, God told me, this is just a piece of what I'm going to do for you, what I can do for you when you take the time to focus on me. And I heard that clear as day. Wow. And it would be times where I would be on my way to work and I would have to pull over because I'm just worshiping. I'm like, I'm crying. I'm close to speaking in tongues. I'm like, by the time I get to work, I'm like, I don't have no more in me. I don't worship the whole way to work. And doing that, so that's why 7 minutes is so close to me, because 7 minutes, it changed me. It brought me, and I'm still not exactly where I should be, where I need to be, but it brought me back in line with him. So that's why 7 minutes is so close to me, because I was able to see, a change in who I was and change in my lifestyle and my life just by taking 7 minutes of my day just to spend, just to talk to God, tell him what's going on. And so that's where 7 minutes came about.
Wow. I know. And thank you so much for being transparent, right? Because I think you touched on so much different things here. First is just, as Christians, yes, there are times where we just feel as though, we've drifted off, like we're not really sure what's happening. Right. But it's always important that, again, he aligns someone in your path just to come and just tell you, and you are obedient to listen, to say, hey, you got to tap back into this source. You got to get back into this source. And this is what's going to happen. And the fact that because if you're obedient, when you are now getting back close and tapping back in with him, then boom, the American Idol happened during that period. So like, say, even if you were disobedient and you didn't tap in and you didn't get your mind right, get everything together, like you probably could have ended up missing that opportunity. Who knows, right? But the fact that all of that just happened is just kind of, even hearing you talking about it, it's just, I don't know, there's something about that story that as you're talking about it, like I really felt it, like I connected with that story there, and you're saying it, and I'm just like, man, like it's just, you see, someone said, chills. That, you see, exactly, that's exact words I was looking for. You felt something during that. Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. My goodness, I didn't know what I was gonna ask you next. You got me all messed up over here, man. It's like, man, I think I'm ready to put on some worship music and just start swaying.
Okay.
Oh man, listen, for anyone that is joining in, I'm having an amazing conversation here with Ashley Blaire. We're talking about just her journey, her backstory. Ashley released a new EP, her debut EP, 7 minutes, and she just shared us the story about 7 minutes and where that came from. So definitely go back, look at it, just listen to that story, connect with her music, and she's definitely in the direction where God want her to going. And it's just been one story of just obedience after another, and I'm just I'm super thankful to be having this discussion. So 7 minutes, the new EP track list, I was listening to it again today, so I'm gonna throw my top two out there. I'm not gonna say top two. I'm just gonna say the two that was ministering to me today. I'm gonna say that. Let me reframe that. The two that I love Healer. Don't get me wrong. I love Healer. I love 7 minutes. But for some reason, actually, I should say the three rather. Jeez, look at that. Close to you. There was just something that was just like real about listening. As I'm listening to Close to You, it just kind of like, I was really in a space where that was ministering to me. Then I Believe and then I know he will. I know he will. It's just a bop. Like when I
Oh,
saw "Come On," you're
that's my
just like
song.
like you just ready. You're ready to go off when you're listening to that. So those were. I feel like I pretty much just list all five. I'm telling you, I'm gonna say it too. And I started off with the two, and I added the three. So there you have it. Basically, I'm saying the whole thing. So that's what.
Everything, the whole EP.
The whole one. So it's a great EP. And I love, and that's the thing about music, right? Because you can listen to an album, you can listen to something, and each day of the week, depending on where you are, what you're going through, is gonna have something to minister to you.
Yeah.
It's just a matter depending on what it is. So just just tell us, the writing, the recording process, so you're showing up, you're a new artist, you're showing up to the studio for the first time, you're about to record this project that is sitting in front of you. What was that first day like in the studio?
I would definitely say, because this was the first time that I met Jay. So my first time meeting him, I got most of these songs knocked out. And I will tell you with I Know He Will, that's my jam. I'm always jamming to I Know He Will in my car. And a lot of these songs, a lot of the times, like I'm ministering to myself as I'm listening to them. So these songs are helping me get through the things that I'm going through, every day. Close to You, as I was, because sometimes I'll just go in the booth, I won't write anything down. And a lot of Close to You, actually, I didn't write down at all. Close to You was literally just me singing on top of my head and just literally just flowing. And I really found myself with Close to You. It's almost like I could feel that God was there throughout Close to You. And when I listened to the song back, I said, I don't even remember saying that.
Wow.
And I'm getting chills now. Lord, and I'm like, I hear the praise again. But as I listen back, and I think that was one of the moments I realized, like, man, God, like I knew you was real, but I know you real for sure.
Yeah.
Because I don't
Yeah.
remember really saying this. So a lot of times when I'm in there recording, it's literally like it's me and God. And a lot of these things I'm putting out there, and that's like my time to talk to him. So that entire time, that process down there was just really just ministering, to myself that entire time.
Wow. And even with Close to You, like you mentioned, like Close to You is kind of like a prayer of our heart, right? Like we're just saying, hey, I want to be close to you. And just that, just the phrasing and everything else with, the way, the approach that you took with that, like that is just, and I was listening to it, like I said again today, and I was like, man, it really puts you in that space. Like you just put it on, you just listen. And even if you're not even singing along, it's just tugging on your heart. Like, listen, man, this is it right now. So, and where you mentioned down there, where did you record this album?
I was in New York, so if I'm saying it right,
Oh,
Middleton, New
okay.
York, Middletown, New York.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
was
Middletown. Oh,
down there recording with
interesting.
Jay. Yeah.
I'll tell you, fun fact, I'm 20 minutes away from there.
Really?
I'm
I'm gonna have
20
to
minutes.
stop by.
I'm 20 minutes away from there. That is crazy right now. Shout out to the Ology. These guys are doing some amazing stuff out there in the Ology. But yeah, that's wow. That's wild. Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. But yeah, man. I mean, and so how long was the process? Did you came down for the week? Like how long was this recording
I
process?
believe I was down there for I think like 2 days. Literally, like right when I came in, first day I got in, it was like 2 to 3 days. I started working that second day. I was down there, worked a little bit that third day, flew out, and then I basically finished the EP in 2 trips.
Oh wow.
Yep, 2 trips.
Nice, nice. So you see, guys, that comes down with preparation as well, because I'm sure you didn't just show up and again, even with being first time coming into the studio, I'm sure there's the jitters there's everything else, but again, it's just when you have that love and that passion
Yeah.
for something, like, and I heard everyone says that, like the first time I go in there like this, and then the minute they go ahead and they turn the mics on, it just something just comes over you, and you just get into it to just flow. So that's awesome.
Exactly. That's usually how it goes. That's how it
That
goes.
that's great. That's great, man. And Again, I saw a few people, just came back in again. But again, guys, tonight we're speaking with Ashley. Ashley released her new EP titled 7 Minutes with the title single Healer. So, the radio single Healer. So definitely go ahead, download it, stream it wherever it's available. Stream it. Go back, listen to this interview, listen to Ashley's story, and just get on that journey with her for everything else that's happening with her right now. So actually, the EP is released, kind of stepping us back through the EP, released. You went on American Idol, you learned so much here on season 20, came off back American Idol, now you're working the EP, working it to radio, just kind of going through everything right now. So what is the summer looking like for you?
The summer looks like nothing but work, work with music. I have a lot of goals and things that I'm definitely trying to get done. And, I just want to be able to reach as many people as I can, just to let them know how good God is. The kind of music I do is always going to be inspirational, something with a purpose. Because, sometimes we think that, people are always listening to gospel music, and they're not. You have to find a way to bring them in to know who God is. And so this whole summer is going to be a way of figuring out how to do that best and working towards how to do that best so that I can reach lives and tell them how good God is, and hopefully, save some souls. So that's what the summer is looking like for me.
Come on, souls. Come on, get out of those streets and save those souls, man. And with your personality, I'm sure you approach them to talk about those souls, thing and it just open right up because again, you have a very friendly, personal demeanor. So that helps with the souls. That definitely helps.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, so actually it was so awesome, speaking with you. I'm gonna pass it back to you. You can tell the people, where they can find you, social media, anything like that. If there's anything else that I didn't cover that you want them to make sure, that they find out about and so forth, you can just go ahead and share that.
Absolutely. So first of all, I just want to thank you for having me on here. It's been such a blessing. You've been so amazing. I love your energy. As far as 7 minutes, you guys can stream it. It's on every platform. It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. Just type in my name, Ashley Blaire, Blaire with the E on the end. Don't forget the E. You can also click on my page and click the link in my bio. And hit me a follow. If it's music that you do, maybe hit me up about that as well so that we can connect. But again, I'm super excited about what's to come, and I hope this isn't the last time we speak and do this.
Definitely not. Definitely not. If not, if Tiffany has anything to do with it, all right? I'm not even worried about that because the minute you're doing something, she's gonna let me know. Like I said, she's like my second cousin at this point, so I'm not even worried about it. I will know when something is happening.
Oh Jesus! Yeah.
Oh, we're seeing a lot of love in the chat. Everyone is saying, "I love you, Ashley. Love you, Ashley."
Oh,
Man, look at all this love. I mean, come on, man. Come
I
on with the
love you
hearts
guys.
and the love. See, that's what it's all about. But no, man, Ashley, thank you so much for coming on. Just for being yourself, being authentic, being transparent is always great. I tell everyone when you're doing an interview and you're speaking with someone that is just chill, that is transparent, that just has good energy, it makes it so much easy.
Yeah.
Because now I'm just talking. I'm not asking questions. I'm not doing anything. We're just talking, and the camera just so happened to be on. It just so happened to be on at this point.
We third cousins.
See, there we go. We all showing up at the family reunion, y'all. But thank you so much for coming by, for hanging out with us tonight. Keep pushing. Definitely, you have an amazing story. Continue to tell it. Continue to allow God to use you. He's already using you in mighty ways. So, continue with that. We will stay connected. Once something is happening, definitely let us know. If you're going to be in Atlanta for the Stella Awards, again, shoot us a DM. We'll make sure we meet up with you guys in person. And, again, thank you for coming by and talking about 7 minutes tonight.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
All right. Have a good night, y'all.
You too.
All right. Bye. Yo, we were just speaking with my cousin Ashley right there, Ashley Blaire. Yo, amazing, amazing personality. Y'all go ahead, stream her new her new EP, 7 minutes. It's great, great EP. So many nice tracks on there. I was gonna play a little bit of one of them, but Instagram, be acting up sometimes and they're trying to shut you down when you play a little snippet. But y'all go ahead, check her out again. We're gonna go ahead and post this. You can go ahead and just listen to the story behind 7 minutes, and we'll also post all of Ashley's social. Go follow her and just get on the journey with her. All right, y'all. This is another edition of Behind the Music, the buzz behind the music, and thank you guys for listening. Have a great evening.